Hello everyone, it is Derby Day here. It is Paris FC versus Paris Saint-Germain. It is Derby Day and I'm looking forward to it because I feel like we've got a good chance of winning because they haven't got anybody that's really a threat except for Mbappe who's got 18 goals. But it's okay, we've done the Moneyball, right? We've crunched the stats, we've crunched the numbers, we've got the team that can stop him. I've got a midfield player who's going to put him in his place and run the game for us the entire game. Guga over here is just going to... this gets worse. Hello everybody, welcome back to Moneyball. Yeah. I mean, if I was to use one word to describe Guga, right, it would be useless. Useless Guga, not for your injury, which is, you can't really help that, but you didn't do much in the games before it. But like, we spent the money on him. He comes in, he gets one red card that was hilarious to watch, to be fair. It was really funny. But apart from his one red card, he did absolutely nothing else for us. He had an average rating of 6.68. And Guga, to be honest, mate, I hope, as long as I can say a good riddance, like, just get out of the club. I'm absolutely fuming with him. He's even talking about quitting. Like, we don't do that here. If you want to go and quit and, you know, give up and have the easy road, go and play for Paris Saint-Germain. That's the easy road. We're Paris FC right here. We fight. We have to claw and scratch our way to the top using our Moneyball method. Christ. Is he the captain? He's the vice-captain as well. Oh. Well, actually, he's the captain, really, because Ben doesn't even play. So this is just getting worse by the minute in this episode. Right, yeah, it is Derby Day, and I honestly can't quite believe the start we've had to the episode, but there we are. So, it is going to be Derby Day. We have been in a pretty poor enough camera since we last met. We're going to have Paris Saint-Germain and Lille in today's episode. The league table looks like this. Paris Saint-Germain are just the 8 points clear already after 13 games. And even further than that, ahead of us. They've got 36 goals, conceded 7, and Mbappe scored 18 goals in 13 games. That's league goals, by the way. How many goals has he actually got? Just 22. So it's only 22. Wouldn't it be a shame if his contract expired and he went to somebody else? Wouldn't that be a shame? Yeah, I'm starting to think this might be a tough save. You know, I mean, we might do all right in terms of getting the team together, but stopping that is going to be a huge problem. Yeah, I'd like to tell you that we've got a chance in this game. And, you know, as far as the players are concerned, there is a plan. They've been working on it all week. We've got a chance. But between myself and everybody watching, I think we have got zero chance here, especially away. I mean, our best case scenario is maybe a draw, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Morgan suspended after he finally scored. So Mesa goes in up front there. We'll do that change. Marble's actually going to leave us. I got an offer for 210 grand from Lons after he complained that he wasn't getting played. And I said, well, that isn't going to change anytime soon. And he said, well, I want to leave then. And I was like, great. I can't wait for you to leave because you're not going to play for me. And he's gone to Lons for a 10 grand profit is. So, you know, not bad. We'll take the 10 grand profit for a player who's going to probably never play for us. I did play Sammy out there last time. Let's give that another go, I guess. And we'll do that. And Guga's out, isn't he, as well? So then we play... I'm going to play Gomez, I think. I want to get Gomez in the team. I'm just going to play him as the pivot player. Because at least I can get him in the team that way. Because I think he's a brilliant player. And he's much better than Hadjam. Hadjam's been pretty average. Yeah. Okay, that is going to be your team. The game is in 4 days. The reason I didn't start it right at the game is because I wanted to show you the injury to Guga. It's just devastating, isn't it? I don't think he will quit. I don't think he'll play much more for us because when he comes back, it's not just the fact he's going to be a lesser player from what he was before, but he was playing poorly before that anyway, and he was really a huge issue for me. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with him. I was already contemplating if I should sell him next year anyway, so now we definitely will. We'll just get nowhere near the same amount of money because of his injury, but there we are. Okay, I'll see you in 4 days for the Paris Saint-Germain game and the Paris Derby where we are huge underdogs. Okay, it is Derby Day. We are here ready to go, and we're going to play against Paris Saint-Germain in the first derby on camera. Well, the first derby for us at all in the save in the series. And your team for the first Paris derby is as follows. Going to be Nuruddin in goal with Ferrarese, Talbi, and Dabino across the back. Hadjam and Samit wing back with Gomez and Lornberg holding, with De Urso as our 10 with Mesa and Neris up front. I don't know what to expect. I hope we can compete. We should be able to compete for a little bit, but if they get an early 2 goals, it could get messy and not Lionel Messi really quickly, so we'll see what happens. Come on, Paris. Oh, we're in our pink kit. Oh, Is it going to be the first defeat? I hope it's not. Don't forget, so far we are undefeated in the pink kit. We are still undefeated as of right now in the pink kit. So let's see what happens here. Going into the Paris derby, assistant manager says, pick up where he left off, okay. Does he mention the fact it's a derby? Doesn't care. Paris Saint-Germain are going to play a big off. It's even worse they play in a formation that doesn't give us a brilliant advantage. So, yeah. At least we're going to look good in our pink kit, though. Look at that. Best kit in the world. First highlight of the game. Paris Saint-Germain have it. They're playing out from the back. They're going to get forced long, though, I think. And that's going to go there now. Trap them. Don't go back round. Oh, lads, we're ready for this. We should have been ready for that, really. Goes Sergio Ramos into Nuno Mendes. Nuno Mendes plays it back to Sergio Ramos. They're going to retain the ball across the back. Playing to Soler. Danilo. He's been tackled, but that was a bit close for my liking. They continue their attack. All the way back to the goalkeeper again. Can we set the trap now? Okay, let him travel with it. Then that's it. Trap inside. Good, good, good. Fabian has it. Plays to Neymar, to Danilo. To Fabian. Soler goes through. Plays it across goal. Mbappe scores. 1-0 Paris Saint-Germain. Predictions right now on the score. What do you think? Sat at home watching this. We're gonna collect that. Mbappe shoots. That was nearly 2. Okay, Nuruddin has the ball. Plays it to Dabila. Dabila travels with it. He's got not many options. Tries to whack out to Hadjam. Hadjam's 1v1. Gomez into it and Durso. Here we go. Durso has it. Plays it back to the back 3. Back into Hadjam. Hadjam needs a bit of space. Oh, what is he doing? Who was even playing that to? Counter-attacks on Lumber, wins it back. The goalkeeper, play it to the right-hand side. Right centre-back wants this. Why would you go back to the left? Hadjam. Wow. I mean, Hadjam, that's 2 in a row, mate. Just get off the pitch. I might actually sub him off here. It's 2. Hadjam, you're coming off. You're coming off, Hadjam. Okay, Gomez has gone to left wing back, and Benau's got into the pivot role. Set piece then to Urso, whips into the far post. Far as he goes up, it's headed away. Mbappe gets it on the counter. What is the score going to be? We win it back. Tabi has it, whacks it into no man's land. Paris Saint-Germain counter on us. Mbappe into Hakimi. They're going to work it around to the right-hand side. There it is. Hakimi's in. Probably the best wing back on the game. Hakimi still whacks it across goal. Sammy had plenty of time and somehow just, I don't know what that's supposed to even been, Sammy. What are you doing? Nuno Mendes back into Fabian. Can we just survive this attack? Have a shot, Ramos, please. Have a shot. That'll do. Yes. Okay, 10 minutes before half-time. There's another highlight for Paris Saint-Germain. I don't know how many I've shown you, but there's been quite a few of these. Sergio Ramos has it. Goes across Danilo. Danilo plays it across. Gomez wins it. Now he's got 2 versus 0 there. Pablo Neves is in. He's surely got a score, hasn't he? He's through. And he misses it. Well, we created a chance. That if we were going to get a result, we needed that to go in. That's probably ended our chance of getting definitely a win. Probably ended our chances of getting a draw unless this corner goes in. And it does not. Potentially the last half for half time. We'll see. Samuel gets it from a goal kick. He's going to play this into the centre-back, really. I don't know who's aiming. Well, I know who's aiming for, but it was a poor execution of the pass. It gets played across to the right-hand side. Marquinhos plays it across to Hakimi, who's pretty dangerous, isn't he? And they get in behind again with the Hakimi. They're dragging us all over the shop. Mbappe goes through. Is he going to make it 3? Nope, but Neymar does. It's another highlight. And the highlights. I've gone to balanced. We're trying our best here. We can't do much more than this. We've got like 7 players out, injured and suspended against Paris Saint-Germain. Hakimi's going to keep this in. Can we steal a goal off him here? Oh, God, what is... I'll tell you what. Round of applause for Hakimi. What a ball that is. Absolutely whipped it in. Unfortunately for him, he's not playing in pink, although he wants to be. He wants to play for Paris FC. He's auditioning. I mean, that's what he's doing here. He's saying, do you know what, boss? I got you. I want to play for your team at some point. So have one of these. I'm going to swing it in for you just so we can nod this in at the far post. What a ball this is from Hakimi. Unfortunately for him, that is the wrong team. That is 3-1 to Paris Saint-Germain. I'm actually really pleased we scored that because that might stop us getting absolutely destroyed in the second half. We'll say, remind them that rivalry matters to say that. Free kick for Paris Saint-Germain. Surely play him in. Was he onside when it was played? I think he was, but it was a terrible pass. Oh, come on. Lad, you've been given a bloody opportunity there. You've got to execute that. You cannot fuck that up. That was a clear give me a goal from Paris Saint-Germain yet again, and we just don't execute it. And, yeah, wow. I mean, I think he's offside, but you could see the danger. Okay, Sammy's going to come off. We're going to put on Moreno, who isn't really fully fit. He's still got, like, an orange injury. That's why he hasn't come back into the team for it. 3-1 and competing, like, keeping them under a 3xG and having us get to, like, a 1xG would be nice. Can we keep that where it is and get ourselves up to, like, a 1xG? Just be nice from a stats perspective to see that. I mean, there's another injury. Mario Gomez. I don't think I've ever had so many injuries and suspensions in the same team at the same time before. It's getting quite comical. Hopefully it doesn't cost us too much as PSG failed to make it 4-1. It's going to say 3-1. I mean, considering the gulf of the two teams, in addition with all the injury suspensions, 3 or 4, whichever one it is, it's whatever. We'll try and give them a better game when we play them at home. Oh, it's 3-1. And there you have it. It's going to be 3-1 to PSG, unfortunately for us in the Paris derby. But I mean, it got to the game, and as the game was unfolding, it almost felt like that we had never really had a chance anyway. And oh, come on, play through the injury. Come on, let's run these off, lads. You know, for a change. Let's try that. Let's take a different approach to our injuries. Let's run them off. Okay, I'll see you in a week's time for the game against Lille, when hopefully we can end the episode in the Champions League spot still. Well, what a shame it's the wrong series for this intake. This is a terrific group of players coming through and has the potential to be a real golden generation for the club. Great. That's fantastic. I mean, I'm happy in this save because it'll either give us some first team players or players we can just sell and make money off. But I feel like I'm being trolled by the game right now. Okay, a bit more of a balanced team for this one. We're going to have Nuruddin in goal with Ferrezi, Tabi, Dabila across the back with Hajam and Kofi this time, or Kofi at wing back. Gomez, Lundberg again at pivot with Durso as a 10 with Morgan and Neris this time up front. Assistant manager says, I expect a much better performance. Yeah, good. Love that. Completely agree. So the free kick whips it into the far post. Headed away. Dabila headed it in. Lundberg, is he onside? Is he onside? The assistant manager hasn't moved. And he's onside, yes! I was just waiting to see if the assistant referee would move, because I wasn't sure it was going to be offside, but it's not. It's going to be 1-0, and it's a second phase set piece here. It's sort of headed back towards the goal, and then he's nodded in there, got himself a goal to make it 1-0 Paris FC. I mean, what would be good this season? Champions League would be amazing. It would be a brilliant step forward for the club. Club reputation would go really high. The money would be incredible. Would it be better for us to be in the Europa League or something like that? Because at least in those early European games, we could rotate the side a little bit and be able to still win the group stage matches without us, that's a goal for them, without us having to be worrying about fatigue and stuff, because we can just rotate the whole side. Or is it better to get in the Champions League first and foremost, and then compete a little bit and finish third in the group? That would be the most ideal scenario, because you get the reputation boost of being in the Champions League, you get the money from being in the Champions League, but then you go into the Europa League anyway. Something like that. I'm not sure. But anyway, we'll see here as it goes, headed towards goal, and it's in there. It's scored. Has he scored? Is he onside? He has. That is the second face set piece we've scored in this episode and this game. Headed towards goal, and yeah, again, Neris getting up there for us, making it 2-1 Paris. Hala here, Lille going to play almost straight from the kickoff they just had after the goal. They can play it down the left-hand side. They're going to play it across goal. Tabi gets there first. Urso takes some great touches at his feet. Now, can he make the run, Morgan? Make the run. Make the run. Hajam, give it to Morgan. Come on, your best friends. Been here a long time now. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, look at the football. The football. The football. Morgan's ruined it. Oh, is it 3? I honestly stopped speaking because I thought the highlight was over. We've just done like a little near post corner. It's flicked towards the goal. It's hit the inside of the post. And has it been tapped in? It has. This is another one. For the last highlight before half time, they're going to play out from the back very bravely against us. We're going to win the ball there almost. Oh, come on, move across, lads. Stay come back to the middle. Can we get the second one? Yeah, I love that. Lundberg gets it, plays into Morgan, who gets tackled, loses it. They're going to counter on us through the centre of the pitch by the looks of it. Here it comes now. Here comes the counter. Play through. Are they going to score from it is only the question now. It's going to be their highlight. They score 3-2. We'll say things are going well. Okay, there's a late highlight here that just basically started off with Gory missing a one-on-one. So, not really sure where this is going. Could be a mistake for them. It's not, is it? Nope. Oh, it was almost one. They're going to get through. They're going to get a chance. Again, are they going to score is the question. And the answer is yes. Is it offside? No. The camera did a little change, but that's it. 3-3. I'm not going to go for it. I'm going to go back to the base tactic, just leave it and see if we can get a fourth one and the winner. And there we have it. It's going to finish 3-3 in a really good game of football. But that's like overall now, the last 6 or 7 matches, we've done really poorly in terms of results. Let's have a quick look at it. Yeah, if we were to look here in our first defeat against Troyes, that's a lot of poor results there in a close area. It just shows what a great start we had. The good start on the honeymoon period is definitely over for us, and we've been getting some poor results. I don't think we deserve to be 4th at all. We shouldn't really be 4th, I think, with 25 points at this point. We're quite fortunate. I think we're in danger of becoming a mid-table side really easily here, so we need to be careful about the form that we're currently on, and hopefully get some money to spend in January, but it's unlikely. Average possession, we are 12th out of 18 teams. Don't forget now, it is the 18 teams, not the 420 as it was at the start of the save with the with Liga 1. So 44% average possession for us. Expected goals for, we are 3rd. And non-penalty XG, we are 2nd. We've created the 3rd most chances out of everybody. Conversion rate is going to put us at 5th. Shots per game, we are 6th. Final third passes for, we are quite low in the table there. Okay, this table just threw me. So we have the worst expected goals against in the entire division. The entire division. Not like out of the top sides. In the entire division. Are we getting really lucky with the results at the moment? That's going to be a question. Like, that would alarm you and should alarm you if that's your situation. But that should not alarm you if you're currently fourth in the league. So it's one of those where we need to definitely track that, and maybe we have to move to a more defensive tactic. I've got a couple of like recreation tactics I might throw in to the series. Like, if I change tactic to another tactic, it'll most likely be, if not a complete recreation of a team, it'll be heavily influenced by a specific team manager in previous time. I'm not going to say what managers they are and what teams they are just yet, but there is a couple that I've got ready to sort of try out. I've tried them off camera a little bit and they've done okay. And well enough where I think that if I was doing a Moneyball, see if I could buy into these tactics right. Because I think in every Moneyball save I've done, almost every single one, I've always started off with a back three tactic and ended up transitioning away from it because it gets to a point where it's just a lot easier to buy from other sides when most of them are going to play a back four, right? So the good thing for us is that Paris Saint-Germain right now are playing a back three. So when we look at our stats, we can just look at theirs first and foremost, because if we can buy the same stats they've got, but within our own budget, we should be able to compete with them on the pitch from a statistical point of view, but wages, money, reputation, all that stuff we won't have. So that'll be a proper Oakland Days versus the Yankees or the Red Sox situation there. And we can use their own stats against them. We're going to flip the tables at the casino. We are going to be using their own stats against them. And Paris Saint-Germain right now would be the team to copy because 1, they're in our league. 2, they're going to be finishing champions. And 3, they're going to be playing a back three the same as us, which makes it really interesting. So it could be that next summer, if we get into the Champions League next year, it's really possible that for some positions, we just take the Paris Saint-Germain player stats and copy that and take their stats and buy their stats, right? Maybe we just do that, rather than taking 3 teams and making an average in this case. We are currently 15th on net transfer spend, and for wages, we are the 17th biggest spender in wages. That's correct. Look at the difference. We are spending £9.84 million per year on wages. Paris Saint-Germain are spending £267 million in wages. They are spending 200 million more per year in wages than the next nearest team. That's crazy. That is ridiculous. Our net transfer spend is 480 grand apparently, according to this sheet here. Unreal. I think I did say in the last episode we do like a massive or deep dive into some of the stats, but we're not really at the halfway point. And to be honest, we're not really learning too much just yet. So I might hold off on that for like going just any further than we already have. We looked at a few team stats. They looked at the money and that kind of stuff, right? Win percentage thing I want to just draw your eyes to here for a second. Like Hadjam. So in my opinion, Hadjam has been the worst performing player this season. Just from an eye test, recounting poor performances, subbing players off. Hadjam's been terrible, and this proves it. He's got the worst win percentage in the team, except for Kofi, who's only started 2 games, so can't really count Kofi. And he has got an average rating of 6.57. Hadjam is worth, I'll probably get around £7 million for him. If I could get 7 million, I think that's him way overvalued. He's way overvalued. So in that situation, from a Moneyball perspective, I would just sell him and not even think twice. The one thing that I tend to not take good care of in my Moneyball saves is I don't tend to look at homegrown status because it's not really hugely important when you're trying to put a Moneyball team together. And as long as you've got a few homegrown players, you can get away with the European registration quite easily. But while he's club homegrown, it's really hard to just cut loose and get rid of him. But I think it's time for him to go because the longer I keep him as a backup player, the more unhappy he gets. But 2, his valuation is going to drop, right? His value is going to go down. At the moment, his value is at its highest that it's been. And he's still, respected a lot in world football. I think we sell him, and we potentially sell him right now in January and see if we can get what we can get for him. Because if I had to, going off camera now, the next game against whoever we've got next, I'm going to be playing 100% Maurizio Gomez as my left wing back. He's 100% my left wing back ahead of Hadjam. Now, Gomez, I'm pretty sure if I looked at his attributes, he wouldn't be quick enough or the right type of player to play wing back for me, but he does the business on the pitch. He gets good match ratings. We win when he's in the team. He looks like he's playing well. And most important of all, statistically, he performs very, very well. So it's not really a choice, I don't think, for me. I think I've got to sell Hadjam. I just going to upset some people, but I think it's the Moneyball thing to do. So fair to Guga, he's got a win percentage of 64%, which is pretty good. And Dia's got 71%, but he's played a couple of cup games. I might play him in a couple of league games because there wasn't much between him and Dabila. And maybe we try and get him in the team a little more. Clement's done all right. Samir's done okay as well since he's gone in, but I feel like I need a slightly bigger sample size for these players. Let's go through to January and let's review it there. Let's get another couple of games in. Yeah, so next episode is tough because there's a transfer window. What I will likely do is bring you back at some point in that transfer window, especially if I'm going to buy somebody and we sell Hadjan, for example. I'll bring you back during the transfer window. We'll do a bit of scouting. Then the two games that I'll show you next on camera will probably be maybe Strasbourg and PSG, or PSG and Toulouse. There isn't that many games in this sort of January, February area, which is good actually. So yeah, although I'll be bringing you back on this area, I won't show you these games. I'll show you the games closer to the PSG games. Hopefully that makes sense. People prefer that anyway. I think you probably would. There's no point in seeing these games. We're not going to learn too much between now and then. Anyway, it's just the transfers. But I'll finish off a bit of finances. 2 million currently in the bank. Projected to finish with 200 grand in the bank. Not much debt at all. Looking in a good position. I think that if we get into Europe, we're going to have a pretty decent bank balance. It's always, I feel like there's a year lag on the money. So if we get into Europe this year, they'll still give us a budget that's still relatively poor. Then if we finish in Europe again the second year and we haven't destroyed the finances in that year that we're in Europe, that's when we get the big budget right. The bigger budget, I should say, anyway. And being 3 or 4 years as opposed to 2 or 3 into the save is probably better for new gens and trying to get some good value for money from some new gens coming through, which would be nice. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for us, I think, in today's episode. Hopefully you've enjoyed the little bit of information in this one. And as you can see from the videos, the minutes and the length of the video can vary quite a lot in a Moneyball save, because if I'm bringing you lots of stuff for the first time, like showing you the spreadsheet, showing you how to do a summer transfer window, or at least how I'm doing it in my Moneyball save, those are going to be quite long. And then when it's like an update episode where we show a couple of games, go through some stats and some little stuff, they're going to be a bit shorter. So yeah, just making you aware that the length of the video is going to fluctuate a little bit, but they're always going to have a bit of added content to them. It's not always going to just be it's almost never going to just be 2 matches, unless it's like right at the end of the season or a cup final or something. There's always going to be a looking at the stats here or scouting a player there, especially as we get more years in and we've got a massive backlog of players that we've scouted for the last few years. Because once I've scouted a player and they've got good stats and we're like a consistent top 4 side, for example, right, if we are consistently a title challenging side, every player that I scout that's got the correct stats, at least at some point, even if their statistical output drops the next couple of years, they're going to stay on my shortlist at the very least, because at one point they had the good stats. And did their stats drop because the team got worse? Was there a new manager that played a much more defensive style of football that made their attacking output drop? Are they the same player? And are they getting dragged down by other factors? That's things you can start to manually look at yourself then as well, right? There's so many layers to this as you get into Moneyball. But yeah, one last final thought. A couple of people in the comments have said something to the effect of like, I love Moneyball, love the concept of the series, but I don't think I could do it myself, or it's too daunting. Yeah, trust me, like, I would say, give it a go. I think you'd be shocked at once you get into a rhythm of doing things. It's all about rhythm. Once you've done something for the first time, and it starts to feel more like a process rather than like, oh, what's the next step? Once it becomes a natural process, I think you'll find it just absolutely fine. And yeah, if you're one of those people who's thinking about it, maybe do it at a time when you've got a bit of spare time and you've got a chance to really get your teeth into it, and give it a go. I'm sure you'll love it. The amount of people that say to me in the comment section around this time of year, the same as last year, that I wasn't playing F much, and I was sort of maybe losing my spark, whatever it may be, and this is sort of giving them a different way of looking at the game. That's the kind of impact I think this save can have when you're doing it yourself, or even watching it. When you're watching it, you can see the depth to the mechanics of what we're doing, and it's just it's fascinating. I personally find it fascinating. I love it, and hopefully you do as well. For those of you that are watching, again, massive thank you to those who've been watching the series. I appreciate all of you, and we'll come back next time for the January transfer window, and we'll go through all the transfers then. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.